These are 15 Hollywood actresses who traded their designer gowns for orange jumpsuits. Fame usually buys protection, but for these women, the spotlight only made the fall harder. Some committed financial crimes costing millions, while others were involved in cults, assaults, and even murder. While their names are familiar, the details of their time behind bars often get lost under the headlines. From Golden Age icons to modern superstars, the law eventually caught up with them all. She played the lovable Chloe Sullivan on Smallville for a decade, but her real-life role was far more sinister. Allison Mack wasn't just a member of NXIVM. She was a recruiter who lured women into a secret society where they were branded like cattle. Prosecutors revealed she held a high rank in the cult, manipulating victims into sexual slavery for leader Keith Raniere. In 2021, the judge handed down a 3-year sentence. She reported to prison in California, leaving Hollywood completely behind. Mack was released early in July 2023. By 2025, news surfaced that she had married and was quietly studying social work, trying to bury a past that shocked the world. Shannon Richardson played a flesh-eating zombie on The Walking Dead, but her off-screen actions were genuinely terrifying. In 2013, she mailed letters laced with ricin, a deadly toxin, to President Barack Obama and New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. The twist was that she went to the police first, claiming her husband had done it. Her story fell apart when failed polygraph tests and internet search history pointed directly at her attempts to frame him. The judge showed no mercy, sentencing her to 18 years in federal prison. As of February 2026, Richardson is still sitting in a cell in Texas, with her release date not scheduled until late 2028. This former child actor, who appeared in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, committed a crime so brutal it landed her on death row. In 2004, Skylar Deleon targeted Thomas and Jackie Hawks, a couple selling their yacht. During a test drive, Deleon and accomplices overpowered the couple, forced them to sign over the vessel, tied them to an anchor, and threw them alive into the ocean. Their bodies were never found. Convicted of 3 murders in total, Deleon was sentenced to death. While in prison, she transitioned and now lives as a woman among the general population at a different facility due to California's moratorium on executions. She will likely spend the rest of her life behind bars. Jen Shah flaunted a lavish lifestyle on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but it was built on a mountain of lies. Federal agents arrested her in the middle of filming, charging her with running a nationwide telemarketing scheme that defrauded thousands of elderly people. She initially claimed innocence and aggressively fought the charges before suddenly pleading guilty in 2022. The judge sentenced her to 6.5 years, and she reported to a Texas prison camp in early 2023. However, her sentence was reduced, and she was released just months ago in December 2025. Now she faces the reality of rebuilding a reputation shattered by greed. We are uncovering more Hollywood secrets in just a moment. If you are enjoying this deep look into celebrity crime, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right now so you never miss a story. Now, we return to the list. Amy Locane was a rising star in the 90s, appearing in Melrose Place and Cry Baby. But that career ended on a dark New Jersey road in 2010. Driving with a blood alcohol level 3 times the legal limit, she crashed into another car, killing 60-year-old Helene Seaman. What followed was a legal nightmare. She was originally sentenced to 3 years and released in 2015, but prosecutors appealed, arguing the time was too short. In a rare decision, The judge agreed. Locane was sent back to prison in 2020 to serve an additional sentence. She finally walked free again in December 2024, a stark reminder that justice sometimes takes a winding path. America knew her as Aunt Becky from Full House, a wholesome maternal figure. That image evaporated in 2019 when the FBI exposed the college admissions scandal. Loughlin and her husband paid $500,000 to get their daughters into USC as fake rowing recruits. The photos of her daughters on rowing machines, despite never playing the sport, became internet jokes instantly. She fought the charges for months before taking a plea deal. Loughlin served 2 months at a federal correctional institution in 2020. Since her release, she has slowly returned to television on the Great American Family Channel, but the wholesome reputation she spent decades building is gone forever. Caught in the same net as Lochlin was Desperate Housewives star Felicity Huffman. Her crime was similar, but on a smaller scale. She paid $15,000 to have a proctor correct her daughter's SAT answers. Unlike Lochlin, Huffman handled the fallout differently. She pleaded guilty almost immediately, issuing a tearful public apology and accepting responsibility. She was sentenced to just 14 days in prison. She served 11 days in a California facility before being released. While her career took a hit, her quick admission of guilt allowed her to return to acting faster, landing a major theater role in London by 2024. Lindsay Lohan's journey from the parent trap to a jail cell was the most documented downward spiral of the 2000s. It wasn't one big crime, but a chaotic mixture of DUIs, theft accusations, and probation violations. Between 2007 and 2012, she posed for 6 different mugshots. Her longest stint behind bars was 14 days in 2010, though she spent months under house arrest. The constant legal trouble nearly destroyed her career. However, this story has a happy ending. By 2025, Lohan had pulled off a massive comeback, starring in the hit sequel Freakier Friday and reclaiming her spot as a Hollywood A-lister, proving that prison doesn't always mean the end. Michelle Rodriguez built a career playing tough women who don't follow the rules, a persona that bled into her real life. During the height of her fame on Lost and the Fast and Furious franchise, she racked up multiple DUIs in Hawaii and California. In 2007, a judge decided she hadn't taken her probation seriously after she allegedly consumed alcohol while wearing an alcohol monitoring ankle bracelet. She was sentenced to 180 days in jail. Due to overcrowding, she only served 18 days, but it was a wake-up call. She later described the experience as a necessary check on her ego, admitting that she had gone wild with fame. Before influencers existed, there was Paris Hilton. In 2007, the world stopped when the hotel heiress was sentenced to 45 days in jail for driving with a suspended license while on probation for a DUI. It sounds minor, but the media frenzy was unprecedented. Helicopters circled the Century Regional Detention Facility day and night. Hilton served 23 days, during which she reportedly suffered from severe claustrophobia and panic attacks. The image of the crying socialite in the back of a police cruiser became one of the defining photos of the decade. She later used the experience to advocate for reform in the troubled teen industry, pivoting her trauma into activism. Lil Kim is a hip-hop legend with significant acting credits, but her loyalty to her crew cost her a year of freedom. In 2001, a shootout occurred outside a radio station involving her entourage. When called to testify to a grand jury, she claimed she didn't see who was there. But security footage proved otherwise. She was convicted of perjury and conspiracy for lying to protect her friends. In 2005, she entered a federal detention center in Philadelphia. She served nearly 10 months, famously releasing her album, The Naked Truth, while inside. She refused to snitch, even when facing prison, cementing her reputation in the streets even as she sat in a cell. Rapper and actress Brat, known for her roles in Kazam and Empire, saw her career halt abruptly after a night out in Atlanta. In 2007, an argument with a hostess at a nightclub turned violent. Brat struck the woman in the face with a rum bottle, causing permanent scarring. The court did not take it lightly. She pleaded guilty to aggravated assault and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. She served her time and was released in 2011. The incident also led to a civil lawsuit where she was ordered to pay the victim over $6 million, a debt that eventually forced her into bankruptcy. Lauryn Hill is a musical genius and the star of Sister Act 2, but her views on taxation led to a federal conviction. Hill stopped filing tax returns for several years, claiming that she had gone underground to protect her creativity from the hostility of the music industry. The IRS didn't care about her artistic reasons. She owed over $1 million in back taxes. In 2013, she began a 3-month prison sentence in Connecticut. She was released later that year, but her relationship with the legal system remained rocky, with fans often worrying if legal troubles would derail her tours again. Even the royalty of cinema aren't immune. Sophia Loren, one of the most famous actresses in history, spent time in an Italian jail in 1982. The charge was tax evasion. The dispute dated back to the 1970s, involving a difference in calculations on her income tax return. While she could have stayed in the United States or Switzerland to avoid it, Loren chose to return to Italy and serve her sentence to resolve the matter. She spent 17 days in a prison near Naples. Crowds of fans gathered outside the prison walls, singing to her and bringing flowers, turning her incarceration into a strange national event. Teresa Giudice became the face of the Real Housewives franchise for her fiery temper, but her finances were even more volatile. She and her husband Joe were indicted on dozens of fraud charges, including hiding assets during a bankruptcy filing. They had falsified loan applications to maintain their mansion-living lifestyle while millions in debt. Teresa was sentenced to 15 months and reported to prison in 2015. She served 11 months, famously working in the prison kitchen for 12 cents an hour. While she returned to television and rebuilt her life, her husband was deported to Italy, proving that the price of their fraud was the destruction of their family unit. Hollywood sells the dream of a perfect life. But these stories prove that no amount of money or fame puts you above the law. From bad decisions to calculated crimes, the fall from grace is always faster than the climb to the top. Some of these women rebuilt their careers, while others lost everything they worked for. If you found this breakdown of Hollywood's dark side interesting, hit that subscribe button for more true crime stories every week. Thanks for watching.